Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday, good afternoon, and welcome to this live. I'm Swapna, uh, admin of the group Wellness at Moms, and I'm also a holistic wellness coach. Yeah, I don't want to talk more about myself as I'm doing every time. So let's get started. So today we have two special guest speakers. Our Carmen Showers, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and Erica Workman, who is a registered nurse, PMS coach, and also she is specialized in hormonal health. So let's get started. Yeah. So um, uh, like um, our topic for this live is we are focusing only on the vegan diet and gluten free diet. So we will be discussing only about questions like question and answers on gluten and also like vegan and dairy. Uh, so my first question to Erica is like what is the common struggles with the your clients who are totally with vegan diet, like what they are deprived of?
So, what are my clients specifically deprived of when they're on a vegan diet?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times. So, I think a very common mistake for many people, and I know I made this too when I was transitioning to a vegan diet. And I started because I was having a lot of gut issues. And so, my diet was getting narrower and narrower. And then, I had done some more research and, finally had switched to vegan. And when I did, I didn't know what to eat. So I feel like I was living off of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for, weeks on end. And, maybe I'd have some carrots and hummus, but I wasn't really sure what to eat. And so the number one thing that I find, especially if you are just transitioning to vegan or you're trying to eat more plant-based, is that people don't know what to eat. So a lot of times they go and they grab the thing on the shelf, right? So it says vegan. Okay, I can have it. Corn chips are vegan, so are Oreos, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just a great example of we can't always go by off of what they're putting on the boxes and things like that. The best thing that you can have is the variety. Eat the rainbow, right? So a lot of times people want to restrict themselves because they haven't tried different foods before, or they're new to maybe cooking at home or something like that, and so they really eat the same thing over and over and over again. And a lot of times that does not give you the adequate variety of foods that you really need, especially on a vegan diet that will give you like a complexity of vitamins and minerals.
Okay. So now coming to Carmen, like I have noticed that most of the vegans are deficient in vitamin B12, right? They because they are completely on plant-based diet. So what are some of the best sources? What are the best ways to include the vitamin B12 for the vegans?
Well, the vegan thing is outside of my scope. So, I do eat meat, and I know that humanely raised grass-fed meat offers us, all our amino acids, all our B vitamins. And so for me, it's hard to, take supplements when I could get it from Whole Foods instead. So that's what I do with me and my clients, and they feel amazing, and I'm all no processed. So eat the rainbow for sure, and as long as you go about both ways very carefully and knowing exactly what you're missing when you take things out and be able to compensate. Um, I don't know. A lot of people that have gut issues can't really do supplements yet. So that's the last thing for my clients that I work on with them, because there's like 6 elements that we go through, and supplementation is the last one. Because if I have someone that can't even break down food, how are they going to break down a supplement? So I would say definitely like B vitamin injections. If I chose to do vegan, I would bypass my digestive system and do that, because a lot of nutrients that is in plant matter isn't the broken down bioactive form for us to be able to do anything with. And sometimes, if our detox pathways and things are clogged up, we're not able to make a conversion. And so that's where it gets a little bit tricky. So I would say don't just jump into it. Get Erica, because she knows what she's doing, and she knows, this is what you're getting, this is what you're not getting. And I'm sure that she compensates in amazing ways that maybe we wouldn't think about. Like she said, when she first came into it, you just eat everything but that at first, not realizing there's so much more to it. And so dive deep, I would say definitely with the coach, because it's unlimited, the knowledge that you have to know to actually be a good vegetarian and vegan. You have to know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. uh, from my experience, out of my experience working with my own clients, yeah, some people are vegan by birth, like they cannot accept, and we cannot force them on animal products or something. That they will ask, like, what are the options for us if we are
Mhm.
on plant-based diet, like. So coming to vitamin B12 shots, I think they are not safe because I have like uh, read about many things about it. Like it has even our liver cannot process that, and it has an artificial form of vitamin B12,
Yeah.
and our body needs the natural form of vitamin B12, and also that artificial form of vitamin B12, that retention is very less. So after few months again we will be deficient. Whereas when coming to natural form of vitamin B12, our body has it can absorb more, like more absorption is there with natural form of vitamin B12, and also more retention is there, right? Bioavailability is
Yeah.
more with natural form of vitamin B12. So yeah, so if a vegan, if a client who cannot, who is like completely no to the animal diet, then uh, is it a good idea to suggest some vitamin B12 supplement of good quality or multivitamin, or through diet like hummus, including something which is rich in vitamin B12? What do you think?
So I think, as far as the plant-based vitamin B12 forms, so where I get my vitamin B12, I love spirulina. I use it in so many things. A couple other things that have fortified vitamin B12 in it nowadays. A lot of plant milks do actually. I was really surprised. I was interested, curious, reading different labels at the store the other day, and a lot of different uh, companies are putting different types of fortifications in their plant-based milks, whether that's vitamin D, vitamin D12, calcium, etc. And then another couple of ones that I love to use, nutritional yeast, they fortify with vitamin B12. And then mushrooms actually have vitamin B12 in it. So I like to have an array of things in my diet, but I always definitely have like a green juice or shake or whatever it might turn into that day in the morning. And yeah, I definitely can notice the difference of, especially like Carmen was saying, when my gut wasn't healed, after I got off of birth control, my hormones were imbalanced. My gut was the primary problem. I mean, honestly, I went from, being raised on a farm, having only organic farm, grass fed cow, all the things, all the good things, right? Cage free chickens, blah, 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 right? And my body just couldn't digest anything anymore. It literally was rejecting it. So I had to heal my gut first. And so even though I was supplementing and I was taking the vitamins, I totally agree with you, Carmen. I tell my clients nowadays, I was like, stop wasting your money. It's going in and out. A lot of times we buy all these fancy supplements and they might make us feel better, but do they actually make us feel better? So yeah, definitely make sure that you either A, have researched what you're doing before making a transition, but B, like you were saying, Carmen, having a whole food diet is better than, you know, I guess than anything, right? So even
Yeah.
if you're mostly plant-based or you're mostly vegetarian and then you do eat meat once in a while, or, you supplement in different ways with, maybe you have eggs or meat or whatever, I still think that it's that effort really does count. It's better than just I'm just hungry, I'm gonna eat, Oreos because I know that they're vegan or whatever.
Yeah.
So you are saying that spirulina is a good source of vitamin B12.
Hmm.
Okay. So like coming to the like vegans diet. So what are the other essential vitamins and minerals and nutrients, uh, Carmi, for vegans? What other nutrients they might be missing?
I would say your whole amino acid profile, which is like 26 amino acids. That's a really big deal. And if I can eat some meat and get all that, that's going to be great for me.
Yeah,
um, so that's a big one.
I think those who are on plant-based diet, they don't get that all types of collagen, right?
So those you do actually have to supplement. Yeah. So where I get my amino acids, I actually have this really amazing vegan protein brand. It's actually made by somebody who's vegan and he is also a bodybuilder. And he has all of the complete profile, all the amino acids that you can get are all in there. I've also taken just regular amino acid supplements, but another really awesome kind of plant source, right, is sea moss. Sea moss has a ton of trace minerals and like literally like everything that you could imagine that you need is in sea moss. And that's becoming more and more widely available. It used to, my husband and I supplement it and we used to have to like ship it from the Bahamas or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
But it's becoming more and more available because people are seeing the health benefits from it. I think it's primarily marketed to men right now, but definitely like when I did my research, I was like, should I be actually taking this? Is it good for me? That's a really good supplement.
Okay. So coming to like uh my question. Yeah. So what are the yeah, coming to improving health, whether it is myself holistic health coach or PMS coach or functional nutrition practitioner, though our ways of work are different, uh, but we are like, I noticed that we all start from the first step as gut health, improving the gut health, right?
Mhm.
So like in what are the things which all can affect gut health, Erica?
What things can affect gut health? Well, everything. And
Yes.
gut health affects everything. I mean, that is why it doesn't matter what, even though, I might specifically coach women and Carmen might coach men. I mean, gut health literally is the same in everybody. So things that affect gut health, specifically everything that you eat, obviously affects your gut health. But, so does your mentation. They call the brain or the gut the second brain, right? There's such a large neural pathway and network and everything in your gut. Why, are you nervous? When you get nervous, does your stomach get queasy, right? I mean, they're completely intertwined, right? So there's a lot of things. Mental health affects gut health and gut health affects mental health. And that's so big. I see a lot of people in general, if they're struggling with, anxiety or depression or something like that, the first thing I would ask them is, how is your gut health? Because one can cause an imbalance in the other and vice versa.
So if I have to rate, this question is to Carby. If I have to rate between 1 to 10, like in the entire body, like whether it is liver detox or adrenal health or gut health, like which one would you give like most priority to focus, which is among liver and kidneys, or like many parts like lungs, respiration, right? By breathing we can maintain our body alkaline. So what do you think, which is most important?
Every client across the board, doesn't matter what symptom, we start in the gut always. So that's can be, the consensus across the board. You just see like, well, it doesn't matter what your liver's doing if your gut health isn't right, because the liver affects the gallbladder. The gallbladder definitely affects the digestive system, and then all the good microbes, all the good microbes in the large intestine, that they create your neurotransmitters. It's not the other way around. Your gut's talking to your brain way more than your brain's talking to your gut. So really, people say it's the second brain. Um, it's the first brain, in my opinion. Like you said, like you have that gut feeling, you're nervous, you just have anxiety, any of the things, you feel it in your gut. So, and like you said, like the brain is really connected. Like, how are you thinking? Do you have negative self-talk? How's your inner critic? Like, how's your stress? Stress will rip holes in your gut so fast. And so it's all linked together. And that's what I love about everything other than Western medicine, pretty much, is because that, I know people recognize that the body's a whole and everything is constant. And I was going through school. I can, read labs great. I can make protocols great. But when it comes to me giving the information to my client, they are completely overwhelmed. And so I, created a course that I can put them through, and we work on mindset before even the gut because it's such a big deal. So, yes, definitely the gut. It doesn't matter your symptoms, just your check engine light. Look deeper.
So, will improving the gut health improve the health of the liver function, and other organs function?
Yes, I would say that, but definitely we work on the liver too, because the detox pathways, phase 1 and 2, we have to make sure everything's doing all the things. Kidneys, I mean, we have so many detox pathways, skin, lungs, all the things. So we have to just make sure that everything's dialed in. But yeah, if your gut health isn't there, you're not going to be detoxing well at all. You can't even, I mean, if you can't absorb nutrients, you're exhausted. And I know, like, if you're eating sugar, back to the processed way of eating, if you have sugar in your system, you will lose your B vitamins, will focus on just breaking that sugar down. And so we don't even get B vitamins. Even if we're eating them in conjunction with sugar, you're not getting them. So that's why I see a lot of fatigue, is because of that problem as well.
So, you are saying that eating artificial sugars or eating more refined carbs can leach away the vitamin B12.
Yes. And people don't know that. So they're like, well, I'm eating this and I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, but if you're eating sugar, it's a waste of time.
Yeah. So, it's not only taking the supplement, we should also know how to maintain that levels, right?
Yes, exactly.
To
Yeah.
maintain.
Hmm.
And do you think, as you said about gut thinking and thoughts, do you think that we get our intuitions from, is it from mind, or is it from gut, or is it from heart? From where we are getting exactly
I would,
Me? Oh, go ahead.
intuitions, intuitions,
for the infusions.
intuitions.
Oh, yeah. For me, I would say yes. I would say you kind of feel that gut thing before anything else kicks in. And then your brain kicks in and you start reasoning and stuff. But for the most part, yeah, you feel it in your gut for a reason.
Because I hear some people saying, I go with my gut, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's like they are getting their intuitions from gut, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's interesting. I'll speak to that. When I was a nurse, and this is a very science-based, right, schooling, and I had so many teachers always say, if you think something's wrong, go with your gut. Always go with your gut. Doesn't matter if the numbers look right. Doesn't matter if the person looks right. If you think something's wrong, go with your gut. And I will tell you, my years of being a nurse in clinical practice in the hospital, I followed that so many times, and I was right literally 90% of the time. Something is wrong, or something was starting to become wrong. Maybe we checked labs, maybe we did an x-ray, maybe we did something else. something was wrong. And so it's really interesting how our bodies can pick up on that first. And when we really become more in tune to how does our body actually feel, instead of covering up the symptoms, or, oh, I'm just tired today, maybe I'll just have an extra coffee. Why are you tired? Why don't you feel good? Why is there anxiety? A lot of times there's a reason for that, and our body's speaking to us, and we just, oh, quiet, I can't be inconvenienced right now, kind of a thing. So I think it's so important to really notice literally how in tune our bodies are with the environment. And if we're listening, we can pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel that it's like common with every client, whether even with your clients or with my clients, that first step is the whatever we tell at the first step during mentoring them, they feel overwhelmed and exhausted. I think it's because they don't know their big why they have to do this. The other is main reason is like lacking that self awareness, right?
Hmm.
They don't know, they don't have any awareness. So that is the reason when we are trying to explain something, they don't understand anything.
Mhm. Yeah, the first thing that I take my clients through is a success kind of a module, a step, because like you were saying, Carmen, it's mindset, right? Like your mindset matters. If you think you're going to fail, you're going to fail, right? Other than that, if you think that you're going to succeed, you're going to succeed. If you think it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard,
Yes.
right? So it's important to establish, why are you doing this in the first place? Before I even let clients hire me, I vet them. If you're not motivated and not willing to work, I don't want to work with you,
Yeah.
because I'm not here to, I don't want to be paid. I want people who are willing to be successful, who are ready to take massive action, because, there's so many people who want the change but are not willing to put in the time, because it is sometimes going against the grain. We have to do things differently. We have to be uncomfortable, but we also have to be, teachable and willing to be uncomfortable and willing to do things differently. Because I think there's a lot of us who would say, oh, I wish this would happen, snap my fingers, rub the genie lamp, whatever it takes, right? And
Hmm.
I just want to get there. I just want that change. But, even if we make that change, it's never going to be sustainable if we don't really want it. There's so many like weight loss stories, like, oh, I lost 20 pounds, but I gained 25 back. Okay, well, what was the point? To prove to yourself you could do it? Or, you know, but I think that's the important part about coaching, is we put in the measures to make it a lifestyle, to make it last. Because, I mean, to me, packed up so many patients and got them well and sent them home, and they came right back in a week because they didn't know how to take care of themselves at home. And so teaching is such a huge part of health. Like you were saying, Swap, that people get overwhelmed so easy. But if we give them the motivation to really want to learn, be a sponge, ask the questions, I feel like people are just, it becomes easier for them, but they're more successful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like they should know if they are doing something, they should know why they are doing, for what they are doing. Yeah, they will get the results, even even if they don't know their why, still they can get their results. But those results will not be less lasting, right? It will be for a short time. Again, they will like, they don't know how they did, why they did, they don't know, because it happened with my clients. When they were getting started, they don't know like why they are doing. So
Mhm.
after like 1 year or 6 months, again same old story, right? Again
Hmm.
repeating. Because they don't know really who they are and why they are doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that first step, knowing their big why, is very important for every client to work with any practitioner or coach. Yeah, I think this is the mindset part in karma in practice, right?
Yes, for sure. That's the main thing.
So whatever we all like, we are doing, but everyone, we are all, our first step is mindset, right? So this
Hmm.
mindset step is missing in the conventional medicine. Like, their problem is they don't have enough time. Like,
Yeah.
we give to the clients that enough time for each and every client at the personal level. A conventional practitioner cannot afford such time and such explanation, or I have to empower a mindset, or like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's no chance.
Yeah,
That's
there's a lot of people who also want the quick fix.
Yeah.
Um,
that's a good point.
And I think that that is, it's a culture. I think that there is a culture of it, almost like entitlement. I don't want to work for it. I want to just, I pay for my weight loss surgery and I become skinny, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when your eating habits become, they're the same as they always have been, and then you gain the weight right back, right? So, I mean, pros and cons, and everybody's journey is different, but if you're looking for a lifestyle change or something important enough to really, a lot of times it's that pain that drives us to making a change. We have whatever pain in our life or discomfort, and it has to, it's that breaking point. And so I think that is the mindset cue that you get to that breaking point and you're like, no, I'm not this type of person,
Yeah.
or I want a better life.
Yeah. So, Erica, how do you how do you make your clients to give their commitment to you or to take the actions consistently without giving up?
Well, I bribe them.
Ooh,
First of all,
that works.
First of all, I bribe them. No, I love to give reward. I say that, like, if I want there to be skin in the game, and a lot of times people's skin is money. So, I bribe them. So if they get what they're looking for within the first 30 days of working together, that month is free. That's it. I don't care. I don't care if it's the smallest thing. If you have, like, your main goal, maybe it's to regulate your cycle, and within the first cycle or first 30 days of working together, if you get that result, that month is free. You put in the work. Congratulations. Like, that is what you get. Like, because I feel like a lot of times we need some sort of reciprocity. Like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And so, I mean, that is because I really, truly am so dedicated to working with clients who are ready to take massive action, and I want to show that. Another way that I help clients, especially with that mindset shift, a lot of times it is, for moms, we're in a group that is, wellness moms, right? So there's a lot of women who, it's the control. It's I need the control, and there's a lot of anxiety about, I can't control my kids. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? And so it's a lot of realizing what you can and can't control, and then dropping, one of those buckets and picking up the other one. If you can control it, it's yours. If you can't control it, drop it. And so, honestly, for so many people, that frees up mind space like you wouldn't believe. It's like, oh, now I can do it. Now I
Yeah.
can take that next step because I'm not carrying all this weight. I only
Awesome.
have one bucket now. So I feel like that's a really, really important step, is to just notice what you're focusing on or fixated on or worrying about, that literally, it might rain tomorrow and I can't control it, right? So
So, so consistency is the major thing, right? Without their consistent, if they are not doing consistently, it's like they are not getting that results. So you said you will bribe them. How do you bribe them?
well, I give them the 1 month of coaching back. So my program is 4 months long, 16 weeks long, or 4 cycles. And if they, get what they're looking for within the first 30 days, I continue to coach them throughout, because, there's so much more to the program than obviously just regulating your cycle. You could do a lot more. But yeah, for putting in the work, for taking massive action, uh, that is what I get them. I give them 1 free month of coaching. So technically I give their money back,
Oh,
or some of
wow.
it,
You give
whatever.
full money as a bribe? You will give first month money, entire money full back to them
Uh-huh. Yeah.
if they get results within 1 month.
Yeah. hmm
Oh, wow. So then
hmm
from second month they will pay you, right? Again, if they
Well,
want.
I do my finances a little bit different than that, but yes, so they pay me for the program, and then I would give the first month back.
So if they want to further continue, yeah, they will pay from the second month. Yeah, this is really mind blowing. Like returning their money, bribing them. Uh, yeah, just to keep them moving forward. Yeah, this is really mind
Well,
blowing.
a lot of people have, a lot of women who I've talked to, they have, like, kids. Kids are a super huge motivation. A lot of times it's like, well, either I want kids or I want to stay healthy for my kids. That's huge. But some women don't have that. Or some women are like, nah, I don't care if I have kids later in life, right? And a lot of times fertility is very closely like intertwined with hormonal health. If your hormones are imbalanced, usually there's some sort of fertility issue. So for women who aren't looking to become pregnant, who maybe already have their children, who feel like they're doing pretty well, a lot of times some of us need a little extra motivation, right? In order to make those changes. And a lot of times, when you're investing in a coach, it's a big investment. It's maybe something that you've never done before, especially women who are used to self-sacrificing. I have to take care of everybody else before I can take care of myself. I know coming from the nursing culture, that's huge. I mean, there's primarily women in nursing, but I remember years and years of my nursing practice where I never got a lunch break. I maybe peed once, 13 hours running around, 12,000 plus steps, it's no joke. It's a lot of work. And it's ingrained in cultures like that, especially cultures who are primarily women. And what do you think happens when those, people go home? Those women are moms too, and they don't stop, and it's the same type of thing. So a lot of times I feel like women don't get the reward that they need. A lot of times women also have a difficulty investing in themselves. Yeah.
My kids are making noise. So
It's summer break.
he's like, yeah. So, um, now, yeah, whatever you shared, yeah, it's really amazing how you are motivating, inspiring your clients, and how you are bribing them to keep moving forward. It's like it looks like you are not focusing on like money, but you want like more like results from clients, visible
Yeah,
results.
yeah, but I want to give back. I mean, honestly, because helping one person, I've been helping it. I feel like I've been helping and healing people my entire life, but I want to give back because again, like a lot of these women, they give so much to so many other people, and investing in themselves is hard. I asked somebody yesterday, I was like, when is the last time you invested in yourself? And she's like, well, my husband always tells me to, but usually when I go out to like buy clothes for myself, I buy it for my daughter instead. And that's so common. It's like and it's maybe even unknowingly done, right? It's just habit. We give to other people, and like we're the last ones. And I remember my mom probably doing something very similar, and one of five kids. So I know how often she was like, oh, I didn't get any of the cookies I made or the dessert or whatever, right? And so often I feel like those women deserve to be pampered over and given back to. And I want to reward that behavior. And I want them to know, again, like that positive reinforcement, like, yes, this is it. This is what you need to be doing. Because, it's real, it's tangible. A lot of times our results are somewhat far off in our brains, right? They seem like, I don't know if this is possible. I've tried and failed before. Can I really do this? And I feel like a lot of times having a carrot, so to speak, kind of dangling right there, that's something that's tangible. That's something, and it's, quite frankly, it's within reach, because 30 days isn't so long. We start talking about how long it might take to heal our guts, or, our livers or something else. It can be months, potentially. And 4 months is a long time. It's a third of the year. I mean, so honestly, if you're looking for something, I need to make this change. I need to feel like I'm actually working towards something. That's it. That's that carrot that you're working towards.
Yeah, they don't want to give so much time because everyone is habituated to the conventional like quick fixes, right? That will be fixed in short time, in a day or days, in an hour. So people are comparing this with that, like it is taking so much long, so I cannot give that time. And for every client, it's like taking their first step, giving their commitment or investing on themselves. The money which they are paying to us, it's actually the investment they are making on themselves. But taking that first step is really hard, right? uh,
Yeah.
Even we might be doing the same. Yeah, for anyone taking that first step, even it is a baby step, taking that first step is really very hard. After that first step, it will be like easier. But yeah, that first step is even I struggle sometimes how to make them like push them to take that first step. So Carmen, how do you motivate your clients to get to take that first step to work with you?
Yes. Well, I want to make it really easy on them, and so every month I send out um a whole box full of everything they need to be successful in my program. Anywhere from journals to glucose monitors, because we do testing and strips, and we do the castor oil packs for the liver and oil pulling. And so every month I like to send them like a box full of all the stuff that they need. And so they don't have to go buy the things because that's an excuse. So here it is. You have no excuses. So that's been really fun. And I like to, put handwritten notes in there and just so they know that somebody's there. And then I also have an app that we communicate through, and we can send information, send videos back and forth. And I just show up always for them, even if they're not showing up for themselves as much. It's just like me, like, hey, I'm in your pocket, remember. So we can set up trackers through the app that will like notify them, based on their needs, like, hey, what about this today? What about that? And just constantly checking in, making sure that they'll feel comfortable to come and ask questions, and knowing that they're going to get answers. I do within the app, I can create communities in there. So if I have two clients struggling with the same thing, I can say, hey, you guys, here's your own little group. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. And then I also do like a Q&A once a week where you can anonymously, because it's so personal. And I do have like men and women, and a lot of people don't want to ask questions in front of people. So they can submit questions by Friday, and then Monday I do a Q&A where they can just show up, and just so they know they're not alone and someone is in their court, has their back. So if they ever feel hopeless, confused, any of the things, I want it to be laid out for them really well. So yeah, I think
This
that
is really mind blowing what you are doing. So you are sending them pack of box of things what they all have needed, so
yeah,
that they don't have to purchase again, go and search and purchase anything. uh,
yes,
you are
yeah,
providing them everything, so no more
yeah.
excuses, like just get started taking that stuff and doing actions. And what is that app you are using for your clients?
It's called the Nudge app. So
Okay.
like you're nudging them, and then you can create your own platform within that Nudge app. So they can just log in. And I upload my course on there. So we do a module per week. They go through it. There's about 5 to 6 lessons per module. And then we do an implementation week. So they have 2 weeks to really grasp what we're doing before we add another step. So we're really doing baby steps the whole way.
So even in functional diagnostic nutrition, do you think even that mind level empowerment is needed? Like,
Oh, I mean, 100%, because I have practitioners who haven't covered that base yet. And they, I've had a few send their clients through my program. But then I realized they can just take my content and use it on all their clients. So I stopped putting other people's clients through my program. But that's their number one thing. They're like, like I said, we can read labs, create protocols. That's what we learn in school. But when you get in the real world, you realize, these are real people, and you're telling them to change their whole life sometimes. So that can be scary. So breaking it down in a way that's really understandable and doable for them. Like, we educate, we don't medicate. And so if someone doesn't want to learn, then we aren't working together. Like, just, I lay it all out right in the beginning. They have to fill out an application, And, you either come into the program or you don't based on if I think it's a good fit. So, but that's absolutely number one, because there's a huge gap between knowing and doing. And so I feel like the system that I've created closes the gap. Absolutely. So nothing's in question. I have a plan, so you don't need one.
Okay. Okay. Um, so I got some important message on my mobile, so
Yeah.
that's clear that. So, um, if you are saying you are suppose one of your client, you are he or she is following everything in terms of nutrition, functional nutrition, whatever you are saying. Suppose if that client has is doing self negative talk, so even though she is eating everything, so how does it affect?
Well, that's in my first module. Is we talk about the inner critic, we talk about fear, what that looks like when it shows up, and how fear can be your friend. You don't need to freak out. You're like, "Hey, fear, you showed up and I appreciate you for that because you're here to protect me, but you can sit in the passenger seat because I'm the driver. So I see you, I recognize you being there, and I got it. So you can chill out." So we really go through a lot of mindset stuff. Then the beginning of module 2 is a lot of mindful eating, emotional eating, because that's a whole nother thing that a lot of us do. And we can just learn to, maybe it's as simple as asking questions before we open the fridge. Why am I here? Am I hungry? Am I sad? Am I angry? Like, what do I got going on? Because sometimes we just don't question those things. It's just unconscious. So just shedding light on it, and hopefully, everything's a practice. So you're not going to get it right away, and that's okay. All we're doing is taking imperfect action consistently.
Okay, is it like so? How does self negative talk it will affect a person who is eating healthy? How does it affect?
Yes. The interesting thing is the thoughts you have directly, even like your microbiome absolutely hears them. You can
Oh,
kill your digestive system literally by what you're thinking. It's amazing. And there we go with that gut brain connection. Huge. So, whatever you tell every cell in your body is the truth, and it will manifest that way. So, that's why the placebo effect is so amazing, because if I believe it's going to work, it is. And if I don't, it won't.
okay,
This
this
is
is
the
really
power of manifestation.
yeah.
Yeah. And what you focus on grows.
Mhm.
So let's focus on what we have control over, what we can change. And then if we don't have control over it,
Mhm.
you know, let it go. It's not a big deal.
Mhm.
So whatever you shared, like how self negative talk affects the gut health or our body health, how it affects the microbiome, especially, and how it affects the each cell of the body. That is really
It's amazing.
amazing to hear. So I think if it is too long, yeah, they might not viewers may not follow it, even replay. So I think we should conclude. So before concluding, Erica, do you have anything to say to the viewers about PMS health or hormonal health?
Anything, huh? Um, mm, yeah, I think that just like the overall conclusion from today, what I'm really picking up on and stuff is that really when we tune into our bodies and what we are speaking, what our bodies are speaking, what our minds are speaking, what our gut is speaking, when we really tune in, we start to notice how we can make small changes, whether or not it happens all the time. Like you were saying, Carmen, imperfect and inconsistent, or imperfect yet consistent action still can get us closer to our desired results. So one thing that I would say is that start to, tune into your body, notice how you're feeling, notice where your thoughts are, notice how your body's reacting, and then go from there.
So, Carmen, do you have anything to say on today's topic, gluten-free and vegan diets? Like for the people who don't have, like, they are not ready to eat any animal meat, or like for them, like, what are the suggestions you will give, you like to give?
Yes, with my clients that are struggling directly with PMS and cycles, I love cycle syncing. And that is basically, we have 4 phases of the cycle, and they kind of, they go hand in hand, and you can, do things to support each cycle, because sometimes you want to be out there and be social. Sometimes you have to be at home chilling. Sometimes you are in the mood to have sex, and sometimes you're not. And so really being in tune with that, and you can feed your body certain ways during certain parts of your cycle. So we really go into cycle syncing, and also seed cycling, which I've found amazing. So this would be great for, vegan and vegetarian. Is, I don't know if you've done anything with this, but people have such amazing success just adding certain seeds for certain parts of their cycle. So that's a whole nother really cool topic. We might have to get back and come talk about that.
Yeah, my side in my home kids, small kids.
Oh, that they're
So
entertaining.
yeah, first of all, I want to thank Erika and Carbin Showers for giving your valuable time and coming forward to share the value and to add the value to my group. I'm really thankful. Then I would like to know how this is helping you. Really, I should be, I should be helpful in return for you, right? So, like coming here and sharing your values here inside the group, how is it helping you?
Well, we were talking about this before about public speaking. Speaking on, just continuing to share our message and show up, I feel like um, not only empowers other people, but continues to empower ourselves to keep showing up and doing the thing. When people are saying, yes, this is valuable, I can use these tips at home. Yeah, it continues to empower me to show up because again, it's touching one
Yeah,
more person's life.
yeah, even you are bringing awareness in the people, and at the same time we are empowering ourselves, because I want more speakers to come forward and participate and deliver their talk. So this last few sentences which you are adding, that should motivate and inspire other coaches to come forward, right? So that is the reason to ask that question in the end. So Carmen, what would you suggest for more coaches, like uh, to inspire and motivate them to come forward and deliver a talk?
I know that we need your message. We need your lovely spirit to show up as authentic you. And I mean, we need this message out there. And so it doesn't matter if you mess up on your words, or your hair's not perfect, or you
Yes,
didn't wear mascara, because I didn't. So there. No. I just feel like show up as you, and it gives permission for other people to do the same.
yeah,
And like I said, like what we're doing is so amazing, and we need like a big magniphone,
Megaphone.
a megaphone. Yes. And we just need to shout it from the rooftops, because we need to feel great and we deserve it.
yeah. Say for showing up authentically, we don't need anything. Initially, yeah, even I was in like false beliefs, like I have to look good, I have to speak good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
I have to like that this be to show, but we don't need like to show up. Like we need consistency, commitment, and like we need to be authentic. Like we need to
Yeah.
listen. We have to speak from our authentic voice. I think that is enough, more than enough to show up.
Yes.
Okay, then thank you for both of you. So everyone should watch this live, and looking forward for the next live in the next week. So till then, Bye, everyone. And thank you,
Bye.
Carmen and
Thank
Erika.
you.
Thank you.
Yay, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
my husband during. Sorry, did I end the broadcast? Oh, sorry.